Hello and welcome to Caffeine Podcast and Videos, and today I'm going to talk about Isaac Newton's prediction that the end of the world would happen in 2060. I believe that the end of the era is in 2066 and he believes the end of the era is in 2060. I think we have different reasons and mathematics behind our reasonings, but it's interesting nevertheless. So, this article says, it's a credit to how good Isaac Newton was at physics and maths, but people rarely mentioned that time he threatened to burn his mother's house down, or the equally baffling time he stuck a number of needles into his own eyeballs to see what would happen. Well, I can assure you that I will not be sticking needles in my eyeballs. Yes, when Newton wasn't revolutionising our notions and motions of gravity, he was, by today's standards, a bit of a weird dude. Yep, I'd agree with that. As well as dedicating a lot of his spare time to the study of alchemy, a medieval belief that metals could be turned into gold, Newton had a keen interest in the occult and the biblical apocalypse, which I'd say that I have a keen interest in too. In fact, in this article, he is considered a heretic in the Wikipedia. In fact, in a few private pieces of speculation likely not meant for the public, Newton went about attempting to predict the end of the world based on his Protestant understanding of the Bible and the events that followed. In one attempt, written on a slip of paper next to a real math calculation of the non-apocalypse type, Newton apparently made reference to the year 2060. Proposal 1. The 2300 prophetic days did not commence before the rise of the little horn of the he-goat, and I'm not sure what the he-goat is. It could be Satan's season. 2. Those days did not commence after the destruction of Jerusalem and the Temple of the Romans AD 70. The times and half times did not commence before the year 800, in which the Pope's supremacy commenced. They did not commence after the reign of Gregory VII, 1084. This is where I believe Satan's season began. The 1290 days did not commence before the year 842. They did not commence after the reign of Pope Gregory VII, 1084. 7. The difference between 1290 and 1335 days are a parts of the 7 weeks. Therefore, the 2,300 years did not end before the year 2132, nor after 2370. The times and half time do not end before 2060, nor after 2344. The 1,290 days do not end before 2090, nor after 2374. Newton believed in apocalyptic visions in the Bible where a battle of Armageddon would occur between Gog and Magog at the end of days, which I've discussed in one of my videos, or a few of them really. Newton probably only has himself to blame for talking about the rise of a little horn of a he-goat and leaving his notes lying around. But it should be noted he was not predicting the end of the world in 2060 so much as at the end of an era. So that's where I stand on it as well. I believe that Satan's season will end, and I've questioned about the legal system. Will that take a turn in 2066? Will a certain part of the law be removed? And I think I've spoken about that in maritime law and common law. Newton was convinced that Christ would return around this date and establish a global kingdom of peace. And I actually believe that Christ did return already in around 66 AD. But because a lot of the information regarding Anglo-Saxons has either been destroyed or lost, then I believe that information has gone too. And it could be that that information was deliberately, with intention, destroyed and removed from our public knowledge. Babylon, the corrupt Trinitarian Church, would also fall, and the true gospel would be preached openly, and that will be from his Protestant angle. Newton, though he made such a prediction himself, did not like the practice of predicting the end of the world because of the damage it did to religious prophecies that occurred when the apocalypse didn't happen. So then the times and half times are 42 months, or 1,260 days, or 3 years and a half, reckoning 12 months to a year and 30 days to a month, as was done in the calendar of a primitive year. And the days of short-lived beasts being put for the years of the lived kingdoms, the period of 1,260 days, if dated from the complete conquest of the 3 kings AC 800, will end AC 2060. It may end later, but I see no reason for it ending sooner. So I find that quite interesting. And I apply the 1,000-year rule of Jesus being applied to Satan's season as well. Whereas most, well, not necessarily most, but a lot of people who I've followed believe that Satan's season will be for 250 years, because they believe that the season will be a quarter of what Jesus ruled, which is 1,000 years in the Bible. And I don't necessarily believe that. I think that Satan would be given an equal amount of time as Jesus, because God does say that he is a fair and just God, and therefore fair and just would be to provide Satan with the same amount of time. But you know, lots of people have different opinions of that. Anyway, tell me what you think. Do you think that the end of an era is coming in 2066? I do feel that there's a lot of struggles going on ahead and a lot of changes. I think that people will start putting their foot down and significant changes will happen. And it's also interesting with their agendas, which they are timing for 2030, 2050, etc. So it does look as if they are preparing for a definite end of an era and progression into a new one, and that would suggest 2066 as well to me. Tell me what you think. Please like, follow, share and comment. Thank you. Bye.